Hi, everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. Today we are going to be surprise, talking about the full blood moon eclipse in Sagittarius. And I'm not sure how long I will be on here. Honestly, I was in bed, I was getting ready for bed, and the moon was shining in through my window, and I was like, Pamela, you need to do this. Hi to whoever's here. Please let me know that you can in fact hear me. I am using a different setup today that I don't normally use, so please do let me know. So we have this really dynamic, really powerful full moon energy, full moon eclipse energy. And this is a big one. I don't know about you. I've been feeling this. Let me know if you are feeling this as well. If you've been feeling this. Also, I don't have my headphones in, so there probably will be like tons of background noise. I'm not going to go and get them. I don't know where they are right now, so you're just going to have to deal with it. I have been doing magic and rituals all day today to prepare for the opening of my upcoming program, the Queen's Coven Mistress Mind. The doors are closing on that very soon. In fact, we only have one throne left. And then I am looking at maybe opening up another pod, but only if there's enough interest. So make sure that you send me a DM on Instagram, save my throne, if that is the throne, if the throne is yours and we've been holding it for you. I'm excited to meet you. So you can DM me on Instagram at The Awakened Aphrodite. And this is for you if you're ready to reclaim your power, your wealth, your abundance, and you are a badass queenpreneur ready for so much more. So I was doing magic and my rituals all day to step into the portal for the Queen's Coven Mistress Mind, as I do all these rituals around abundance for the queens. And whoa, I felt like I got almost knocked to the floor, okay? This energy is no joke. This eclipse energy, this portal, the dragon energy, whew, like I was sweating. I was like dripping and sweating. I was like, oh my goodness, what the fuck is happening? So all of you comment below and let me know, like, are you feeling this, right? So there's a lot of endings happening right now. Somebody in the comments is asking about a Sagittarius and Pisces separation, right? Which is Jupiter ruled. They're both ruled by Jupiter, and we have Jupiter squaring the moon right now. Like, oh my goodness, right? So there's a lot of unexpected sort of endings happening right now. There's a lot of deceit happening right now. There's a lot of tomfoolery happening right now. There's a lot of plotting and sort of manipulation happening right now. Also, please make sure that you like this video, that you comment, that you share it. And oh my goodness, right? So I want you to really tap into this energy and these things that have maybe been happening around you as it pertains to maybe not seeing the full picture, right? We have this Mercury squaring Neptune energy with the Venus squaring Neptune energy. How have you been romanticizing things and putting things on a pedestal when actually you know the truth? Where have you been ignoring red flags or your intuition? How have you been, did I say this already? I'm sleepy, forgive me. Putting something on a pedestal, right? Putting a person specifically on a pedestal, and they're about to come crashing down, right? Where have you been sort of tricked? Where have you been led on? Where have you been led astray? Where have you been finagled? Where have you been, sold a bill of goods and it just isn't what you thought, right? It just isn't what you thought. So this is especially true around any sort of like scandal, lies coming to the surface, so on and so forth, right? But in this energy as well is deep magic. In this energy as well is deep transformation. You might even find that people that you thought were your tribe, you're like, oh, they're not really my tribe, right? Especially with that Gemini energy, right? It's like waiting for the other shoe to drop, thinking that people were in it that are not really in it. Seeing another side of someone's face as well, right? Like, oh, you really thought that you knew this person. Someone's saying a huge sense of dissatisfaction. And, also someone's asking about the Capricorn rising energy and like what's going on there. And I hear you. That has a lot to do with all of the energies leading up to this. Oh my goodness. I mean, Pluto's been there. It's going to stay there for a while in Capricorn, but I digress. And I'm going to talk to you about solutions with this energy that is going to work and apply for every single one of you, right? This energy with this full moon in Sagittarius is about truth, 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 discovering lies, discovering betrayals, discovering how do I say, I feel like it's also a lot of not direct lies and misleading necessarily, okay? Like maybe, but I feel like it's a lot of almost well-intentioned sort of things that are going on where you're just going to go, fuck all of this. Like, no, 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 we're not going to do this. And even in your life as it pertains to business, because I want you to remember Venus represents both love and also money, right? So you might also find that you've had like a supreme lack of clarity around love, that you've had this lack of clarity around business. Maybe people have been saying things to you like, oh, why don't you do this thing? Maybe you've been trying on different things in your love life and in your business, all to kind of not be laser focused, all to kind of not be getting the thing that you want, okay? So this is where I'm going to call you in. I'm going to call you in. That's why I came here. I don't just come out of my palace while I'm in my palace. I don't come out of my cave, out of my magic practices just to give you the scoop, right? You know that I'm always here to call you into the darkness also, don't you? Or you should by now, truly. So what would it be like for you to take responsibility for everything that's happening in your life right now? Okay. What if you looked at all of these treacheries, if you looked at all of the things that are happening, and we played a little game called I Saw That Coming? Can we just pretend if there was any way that you saw any of it coming? And you can even type in the comments. I'm so curious to hear from you as well. I want to know. Come on. Speak to me. I want to feel you. I want to connect with you. Does it have an implication for Sagittarius people? Of course it does, because after all, it is in your sign. It is in my sign. I am a Sagittarius as well, of course. So let's play a little game called You Saw All of It Coming. Okay, I want you to pretend, and I want you to tap into your mind's eye. I want you to tap into your intuition, and I want you to tell me exactly the moment that you knew that the thing wasn't a good idea, that the person maybe wasn't the most honest person, that something just didn't sit right with the situation, right? You can feel free to type in the comments, because I want other people to really feel connected in this, right? What was the moment for you that you knew? And can we not make this bad? Can we not make this a thing where we're like, oh, you should have known and da 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 da, right? Or you'd be better off if only you listened to your intuition. No, 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 no. I want you to imagine that your intuition is a child that has been trying to speak to you, and this is the only way that you would pay attention. So you're not going to get mad, right, at this child. You're going to look at it and go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Come here. What else do you have to tell me? Wouldn't you? Right? If you're being a good parent, if you're healthy, that's what you would do. Please tell me more. What else have you not been telling me? And the portal's open, my loves, my kings, my queens, my royal people. I want you to grab your journal. You know, I have mine right here. I want you to grab your journal and I want you to start to journal. Let it open. Let the floodgates come out. What have you not been looking at? What have you been ignoring? What have you been pretending you don't see, you don't notice, you don't care about? Okay? Somebody says, I saw that in March, but I ignored it because it was both sides. Mistake. We were putting each other in pressure. Yeah, totally. We all make mistakes. It's fine. This is about reconnecting you to your intuition so that you feel really sovereign in a time where there's a lot of misinformation happening. There's a lot of dishonesty happening. How do you protect yourself in this place and in this space? You're so solid in your intuition, it doesn't really matter what other people are saying to you. It doesn't really matter what is going on. So I want you to say, I want you to journal on what else is coming up for you. What have you been pretending that you're okay with and you're not? What have you been settling for that you're fucking not okay with, that you don't want? What have you been swallowing down going, this tastes so good and it tastes like shit. It tastes like cardboard. Or there's something funny, right? Like, have you ever eaten something and you're like, there's something off about this, but okay, I'm going to eat it. And then the next day you have like food poisoning. It's this kind of energy, right? And this is also the kind of energy for people, like, be very careful. There's a lot of like probably increased overdoses and like poisonings and food related sort of problems. So not necessarily food, but I mean just like these kinds of problems, right? So also tapping into this as well. Also with that retrograde energy happening on May 29th, a lot of miscommunication, a lot of, technological things sort of happening too. So with this very sort of two-face energy happening, can you get back into who do you want to be? Can you honor any sort of inclination to really go within, to really honor this time inside of the cave, right? If you're feeling like, oh, I don't really want to be around people right now, know that that is completely okay. Know that that is completely on track. Know that that is absolutely perfect. You get to be introspective right now. You get to cultivate magic for you first right now. Don't be giving everything away right now. This is not the time for that. There are times for that. This is not the time. My warm cacao is very good. I don't think I'm supposed to be drinking that at night, but here we are. What spells are you going to be casting? What things will you be releasing, right? Some people say that you should not be casting spells during an eclipse. I've heard this before. I very much disagree. I understand why the sentiment is there, because just like me, you might get knocked on your ass while casting a spell during this time because the energy is very powerful. But what I will say is expect to release something really big if this is what you are doing right now. Expect it and just let it go. And here's the thing that I want to invite you into. Can we get you into the reality of what you want right now? Because whatever is happening, whatever energy you're in right now is amplified on amplified on amplified. Like I want you to imagine, whoo, there's like this UFO light scanning and it doesn't miss a thing. It doesn't miss a thing. So you want to make sure that when that light is hitting you, you're like, right? You gets you at the right breath. It gets you at the right time. Also, please like this video. Please comment. Please share with a friend if this is valuable for you. I would really appreciate it. Really helps me. So you want to make sure that when that light hits you, it's when you take that breath. It's when you're vibrationally clear. So that what gets amplified is that which you actually seek. And listen, 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 listen. I am not going to pretend that this seems rational or that this seems easy or anything like this. And I have to tell you, it is the thing that you need to do. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about what it seems like. Worry about your magic. This is about magic, 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 magic. This is about creation. All of this energy is deeply connected to that dragon energy, that magic, that recreation. While everybody else is out there fighting, you're in your cave, you're powering up. Even though the battle cry is so strong. And also thank you for all of the likes. I see you. Oh my goodness. I appreciate you so, so much. So even though the battle cry is strong, you're like, oh my goodness, I want to run out there. I know everything inside of me is saying to run out there, but I am instead tapping in. I know it's a trick almost, like something's beckoning you out. Something is making you feel a way that, it's hard to explain. It's almost like a trick. I'm going to give you an example, okay? I lately have been feeling very, very, very homesick, okay? Like homesick to another degree. And, am I homesick? Do I miss like my family and things like this? Yes, of course I do, right? For those of you who don't know, my home is Toronto, and Toronto is a terrible place to be right now, in my opinion, right? Everything's locked down. I lived downtown. My apartment was very small. It's basically like being in like a dark box, right? If you have the option, why would you want to be there, in my opinion? So the Toronto that I remember is not the city that it is right now. So I've been feeling this almost call of the void. I don't know if anyone knows what that is. And there might be even people feeling this right now, calling me like, oh my gosh, you must go back. You must go back. And for no reason, really, okay? For no reason other than human reasons, like I miss my family, right? And it's been so irrational. It's been so strong. I was like, oh my goodness. And then I looked at this energy and let me be clear, I would be miserable if I went back to Toronto, okay? I would not be happy. I would be miserable. I would go back there and then I would be like, oh, how do I leave? Like the next plane out, how do I leave? I already know, okay? I've lived abroad. I've lived in Toronto. I know how this shit goes, okay? So anyways, I know that it's almost like a mind trick. Yes, I'm homesick, but also there's this added layer of sort of like incorrect information, deception, if this sort of makes sense. I wish I could give you a better example, but this is the example that I have for you right now. So where are you getting this almost call to pursue a thing that you don't even want? Where are you getting this sort of call to almost like maybe give up on what you're doing or pursue a relationship that you know is toxic, or hang out with people that are liars or that have, you know, issues and things like this? And my loves, for some of you, this has to do with letting go of addictions. Okay, and I want you to know I'm saying this to you as a call out and a call in, and I'm fucking loving you in this place. I've dealt with addictions in my life. I know it is not easy. And how can you look at this as almost a similar type of energy, right? What things do you really need to get clear on that maybe you're almost like addicted to? You can be addicted to habits, right? People are like, oh, it's only like substances. No, no. You can be addicted to, you know, pain and almost suffering as well, right? So, my loves, welcome to the fourth quarter. Welcome to the dark side of the moon. Welcome to this place where it feels like things are supposed to be amazing or have gotten better or whatever. But deep down inside, you have this feeling where you're like, something isn't right. Okay? It's okay. The question is, how do you want to feel about that feeling instead? Right? We're not going to be able to just flip the script and switch everything right away, but can we get you feeling really powerful and empowered exactly where you are right now? Also, someone asks, are you Canadian? I'm in Vancouver. Yes, Mark. I am Canadian originally, yes. MT says, but now I realize that we can work things out. I'm trying to be the best copy of myself and fixing the mistake after breaking up with my Pisces. Oh, I hear that. I so hear that, and I feel that. Everybody send love to the lovers. And hi, the Narc Files. Hi, everyone. Pinky, Cassandra, MT, Mark. Sorry if I missed anybody. So you get to turn this around. And hi, Gypsy Story. Good to see you. You get to turn this around, and it's going to take some epic. Hi, Emerine. Hi. Everybody's coming out. Everybody who is hiding is like, hello, I'm here too. Say hi. Please come. You get to turn this around, but first you need to take epic responsibility, right? Because you can't change anything if it's out of your hands. American Paisa returns. Oh my goodness. Is here singing the Canadian national anthem. You probably know it better than I do. Oh my goodness. Hi, American. I love you. I love you. You're always commenting on my stuff. I appreciate you so much. We have a couple OGs in the house. Oh, and Maggie. I don't think I said your name, Maggie. Forgive me. So you get to turn this around. And what if you took epic responsibility for all that has happened and you go, okay, I've chosen all of this. I've chosen all this, and therefore I get to choose something else. I have chosen all of this, therefore I get to choose something else. This is a time for introspection. Forget about everything else. Forget about people calling you into their agendas or things like this. People, here's another thing. People right now are going to be trying. I'm trying to do a little my Apple headphone fishing. People are going to be trying to bait you. I mean, the baits are out. And if you learn feminine dominance, or if you understand dominance like I do, don't you ever take that fucking bait, right? Not even. Don't even pay attention to it. Don't even look at it. Because people are also really out here trying to bait you into their own drama, into their own bullshit, just to sell you out. And I don't believe that people are like this. I love people, but this is the current energy, okay? Do not fall for it. Be careful who you trust, right? Be careful who you disclose certain things to. And this is another thing that I really don't want to say. I want to say that I wouldn't normally say something like this, but again, it is the energy. Be careful who you are appearing weak to. I'm going to say this a couple of times because I want it to really sink in. Be careful who you're appearing weak to. My stomach's growling, sorry. I don't know if you hear that. Be careful who you're appearing weak to. I don't like to say things like this. And what I'm not talking about is vulnerability, right? But vulnerability is earned, right? And especially as women, I feel like we are so taught that we have to be this, we have to be that, we've got to be more vulnerable, we have to be more soft and all these things. Listen, softness and vulnerability are great things. And also, don't you dare, not in my palace, not with my babies, don't you dare let these people see you being weak out there, right? Because yes, you get to be vulnerable. Yes, you get to be held in that space. And make sure you're showing people. To me, it's not showing people your strength. It's this quiet sort of, oh, I've got this. I want to give you another example because I think it will really help with this. I went through this period where I was just going through a lot of stuff, and I made this new friend, and she was also like sort of in my field, and she was a coach as well. Super awesome person. We're still friends to this day. And she was going through a hard patch. So she started being like, oh, this and this and this. Like kind of every time I saw her, she was talking about her problems and da 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 da. So I then, and notice how this is just what people do, right? It's so common. I then was like, oh, something inside of me thought, okay, I better talk about my problems too. At that time, I was making a lot more money than her, and I was just had a better relationship and all this stuff. I had all this stuff going on for me. So at that time, and also I just want to pause here, I take full responsibility for this. If there's anything in this that's like, oh, you shouldn't be friends with somebody who's going through a hard time. No. This was my choice. This was my learning, right? I chose this. It was my job to bring the relationship up, not hers. She was in a darker place, okay? So at this time, someone says, don't let them see you sweat. That's right. So at that time, I started to complain. I started to be like, yeah, you know what? Money, this. Yeah, you know what? Like relationships, this. And let me tell you how the next month I had one of my lowest income months that I had had. Let me tell you how my relationship ended. Now, that was a relationship that needed to end. It's okay at that time, right? But when it didn't just end, it face planted. That relationship face planted. And then she started to make comments to me. I can't remember what it is now because it was so long ago, but she started to make comments to me like, oh, but like basically speaking to me as if I wasn't that successful. Basically speaking to me like I really like kind of needed a bit of help and didn't have it together. Okay. Now, not being successful and needing help, like there's no shame around that. That's totally cool. And I want you to understand the trajectory of what happened there. I chose to speak the spells of destruction into my life. I chose to, because I thought it would help me connect to this person. And then unfortunately, what happened was she also started to see me in a light that honestly wasn't true. Right? The next I got it together, I was like, oh shit, I realized what had happened. I took responsibility. It wasn't her fault. She doesn't know. She's just her. She's just doing the best that she can. I should fucking know better. I should know better. And since you're all here, my loves, I say this with love, you now know better. You now know better too. So I started to get my mindset together, and automatically my life started to change again. Had my highest income month ever afterwards, right? Met someone even more amazing right afterwards, because I really committed to taking full responsibility for the direction of my life, my relationships, the spells that I cast, right? And this is a thing I want to share with you. Don't think I have this all figured out. I have to check myself all of the time in these places as well, right? I have to check in and go, wait a minute, how am I not taking responsibility for this constantly? And go, okay, this is how I can take responsibility. This is how I can create new magic and cast new spells in this space, right? From the place of epic responsibility. And you get to have that too. So someone saying, I can relate, been there, lowered myself, so true. So it was a learning experience. Hi, Michael, welcome. It's so true. We need to protect our energy and strive to uplift ourselves and friends. Yes. Cassandra says, done that to self too. Exactly. And there are days when I'm like, listen, I'm taking absolutely no responsibility. Like I just can't, maybe I'm getting my period or something like this. You know what I do? It's cave time. It's that time. It's that introspective time where I get to get back into pleasure, take care of myself, turn my phone off, don't respond to people, and just epically self-care and regenerate myself, especially through the use of self-practices, self-pleasure practice, and so on and so forth. So Michael asks, would you recommend affirmations to keep our frequency high or crystals? So crystals, I would say crystals, I feel very intuitively about crystals, right? So I like to wear crystals personally. Like I have this turquoise in my pendant, in my nose ring. I have an amethyst necklace that I really like to wear. I love obsidian, and obsidian is like really heavy sort of energy, so it's certainly not for everyone. I love jade as well. It's very healing. I would say, what are you intuitively drawn to? And then look up what that stone represents and honor that phase and that season that you're in, because there will be different seasons. And you also notice that other people might even say to you, oh, you look so good in that color, right? Or that really, I remember I had a rose quartz pendant and I had an amethyst pendant. Anytime I would wear the rose quartz, like no one even noticed. And I didn't really like it either. I think maybe it was like a fake stone, to be honest. And with the amethyst, oh my goodness, everyone was like, whoa, that amethyst. You've probably seen it in some of my videos. It's super beautiful. So what do you resonate with? Because this is about you. This isn't about the crystal necessarily. It's about you and your code, right? So you want to look at what you're drawn to. So I'm going to say this normally, and I will give you some affirmations. But for affirmations, I want you to create your own right now, okay? Just take a moment with me just before I wrap up, because it's bedtime for the queen. You know I must go. What is it that you truly want to believe? Like, I mean, believe. What is it that you truly want to know to be true? What do you really wish that you had proof and evidence of? How do you wish to be met in life? What kinds of people do you wish that right now you've already attracted into your life? right? How much money do you want to be making? Turn these things into your own affirmations. Somebody says, believe, MT says, believe that all good things will happen and kindness will win at the end. Yes. Can you commit to journaling that every single day? How do you feel in your physical body when you feel into that as well, right? Cassandra says, oh my, just realized I haven't been wearing mine and have gone into a funk. Thank you. Everybody send Cassandra some unfunking energy. Okay, can we? Pew, 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 pew. I almost grabbed my breast and did that. I should not. Not here, not now. This is what happens when I get sleepy and I've been doing like pleasure rituals all day. Miss Chronic Chronicle says, greetings, my love. Thank you for being here. Okay, so your sensual energy is power. You know, that's what I am here for. I'm here for the remembrance of this. So in terms of affirmations, can you touch and stroke your body while getting into the vibration of what you want? That energy, your turn on and pleasure is so deeply powerful. I cannot talk about it as much as I would like to on here because I know many people who have lost their accounts and their channels. So I have to say it in these ways that hopefully are coming through to you. Pleasure is power, okay? Pleasure is power. Pleasure is power. What other thing raises your vibration like pleasure, right? Oh, I love this. Cassandra's saying, love you. Gypsy saying, spell it out. Miss Chronic Chronicles is laughing. Michael says, I'd love to hear more. We know what you mean. LOL. Yes, you do. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yes, pleasure is power. My goodness. Miss Chronic Chronicle says, pleasure is balancing. Absolutely agree. You know, pleasure releases so many healing like benefits, creates so many healing benefits inside of your body, right? Oh my goodness, Joy is here. One of the queens from the palace. I miss you too, queen. It has been way too long since I've seen your beautiful, majestic self. We are blessed. Oh my goodness, we are blessed with one of the queens. It is rare that we have one of the queens from the palace here on YouTube. They're usually on in the Instagram world. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Sending love and hugs and kisses and all of the things to each and every one of you. And if you know that that last remaining throne in the palace for the Queen's Coven Mistress Mind is in fact for you, send me a DM on Instagram, save my throne, and I will make sure to reserve it for you. Miss Chronic Chronicle says, society literally suppresses self-love unless it's marketed. Do agree with this topic. Oh, that needs to be like a quote that needs to be framed. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree with you. What an amazing thing to say. Just so fucking accurate. Thank you for saying that. Okay, so if you're ready to join me in the palace, send me a DM. We have one throne left. Let me know if it is in fact yours. I can see a name being written on it, and I cannot make out exactly what it says, but I'm seeing some loops. I'm seeing some loops happening. So I'm like, ooh, what's that first loopy letter with cursive that I'm seeing? I cannot wait to meet you. Thank you for being here with me. And you know that whether it's day or night, I love you, I love you, I love you. Go out, have a look at the moon if you can see it right now. I'm not sure where you are in the world. It is so beautiful. And I feel so blessed to be in community with you. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for being here and sharing your vibe, your energy, your love with everybody. And sweet dreams. Oh my goodness, you said it to me. Yes, sweet dreams to each and every one of you. And hi, Miss Tina, TM. So good to see you as well. So grateful for you. Everybody's like saying good night in the comments. Oh, I love all of you. Look at you connecting. Oh, I love you so much. And I'm sending you so much magic, so much safety, so much possibility, so much abundance. And we are all in this together. And you know, whether it is day or night, I love you. I love you. I love you. Until next time, my kings, my queens, my royal people.